What's up, traders? Today, we're talking about the best funding companies going into 2023. This is a really important topic. This business model of funding traders is getting very competitive. So it's important to know which company is best for you. And that's what you're going to get out of today's video. So sit back and enjoy. What's going on, traders? Welcome back. So today we're talking about the best funding company for, I guess you could say 2023. There might be some new companies that pop up. It's a competitive industry, but we're going to share our experience across 3 different funding companies, and we'll talk about some of the others as well. So we appreciate you being here. For those of you that don't know, I'm joined by Tom and James. Boys, say what's up.
Hello.
How's it going? What's up, traders?
And we want to let you guys know really quick before we jump into the topic. We've mentioned in some previous videos, for those of you that have been following me, that the Black Shirt Club was going to be a closed enrollment period. We've decided to change that. As a group, we felt that it would serve the community better, and mainly because of the demand, that if we just opened enrollment and capped at 15 people and then went to a wait list. So what we're doing is now opening the enrollment for 15 traders. And then, like I said, once that 15 people is set, that 15-person group is set, then we're moving into a wait list. And if you want to be on that wait list, you still go to the main website. If it's open, you'll be able to buy. If it's not open, you'll be able to join the wait list. So I want to make that very clear. I know I had said in a couple of other videos that the enrollment was going to be in January, but we've decided to make some changes. So I hope that that's clear. And if there's any questions, just reach out to us and we'll square that away. But let's get into the funding stuff, boys. So first, let's mention that I am funded with my Forex funds. Same thing with Tom, right? James is funded with my Forex funds and FTMO. And now James has been working with the Funded Trader, which is a newer company. So I'm really interested to hear about that. But let's get into this first. Tom, why did you decide to go with my Forex funds over FTMO?
So the reason I went with my Forex funds over FTMO was when I looked through their rules back in November last year, I felt like the swaying part for me was just the phase 1 of having to only make 8% and instead of 10% on FTMO. And then I think at the time they were talking about having the extensions, which was something that was going to be sort of fairly new. And you didn't have to be at a certain percentage by a certain point to get an extension. So for me at the time, I leant towards my Forex funds.
Yeah. And James, you went with my Forex funds after you were already funded with FTMO, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's right.
Was it easier to get funded with my Forex funds because the target was lower?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, it was. I would say, yeah, that 2% does make a little bit of a difference for sure.
Now, I'm curious, and this is something I've been asking people, why, and I want to know what you guys think. Why does FTMO not give an extension like my Forex funds does? You know, you would think they're so competitive.
So they do give extensions.
Oh,
now,
they do
actually.
now.
So, yeah, they do. So if you're up 5% after the 30-day period,
halfway,
they give you a 2-week extension.
Good to know. So see, they're always changing the rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can't even keep up with it. So now when you are funded with multiple companies, how are you trading those accounts, James? Give everybody an idea of like the way that you operate through multiple accounts.
Sure. So I use a trade copier that copies my trades from my master account to my personal accounts, my private investor accounts, and then to the funded accounts as well. So that's how I'm managing all, and you can manage the risk on each one like that.
Have you ever had any issues where like the position size gets screwed up on one thing, or has it always worked really smooth?
In the beginning, when I first was getting used to it, I did have a couple of screw ups like that. Yeah, obviously, luckily it was on a challenge account and I was able to quickly fix that. But yeah, I have had a couple of issues, but it's all sorted out now. I haven't had any issues with it. It runs pretty smoothly, but you just have to get used to the workings of it.
So what's holding you back now, Tom, from doing the same thing that James is doing and moving on to FTMO? Because I've had a hard time, and maybe somebody in the comments will help me out. I've had a hard time finding a trade copier for me because I'm working on a Mac, not a PC. So unless I go buy a PC, I don't have a way to trade multiple funded companies. So I'm curious to know why you haven't gone down that path yet, Tom.
So I use the trade copier. I use it for my Forex funds and my personal accounts and private investor accounts too. Okay. So I do use that. And like James, have had the the same errors, but that it's only been through human error, not through the trade copier's fault, I might add. It's definitely been a human error. So yeah, there are some teething problems of getting used to that. But no, next step for me on my trading journey is definitely to start to take advantage of some of the opportunities out there with these funding companies. I think they are very competitive. They are only getting better and better, and the account sizes are only getting bigger and bigger. So I think there's a lot of opportunity. It's just making sure I'm ready mentally to take that next step and start growing, because it does get a little bit difficult when you start managing more and more money. So yeah,
bro,
that's
you
the next
know
step.
you're ready. You wouldn't be here if you weren't ready. Come on, you know it. But I think like now it's fun because with these funding companies, our goals for where we thought we would be in X amount of years, it's changed completely, right? Like, because you can have very quickly a lot of money under management, under your fingers. And some of these guys you've seen the payouts that my Forex funds and FTMO, they're getting 5-6 figure payouts. It's super inspiring. It just completely changed the whole game. And it makes me wonder, like, is this so disruptive? And I'm curious to know what you guys think. Is it so disruptive that this bothers the hedge funds eventually? Because like, why would you need to raise money anymore if these funding companies allow day traders to go this route versus trying to get into a hedge fund and do it the traditional way?
Tom, go first.
I don't think we're there yet. I think they've got a
Not
long way.
yet, but I'm saying in the future, maybe it's disruptive, because it's maybe we're just in it, but it's so popular, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I think it opens so many doors for people that would never have ever had that opportunity to before. I think like trying to get into hedge funds, there aren't many places available. There must be thousands of applicants. They'll be extremely competitive.
You need a degree. Yeah.
Whereas now you don't need that degree. You just need ultimate discipline, consistency, and a profitable strategy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you two. I've got a degree, so I can go to the hedge funds too.
You can go to your hedge funds.
Tom, do you have a degree?
No. Only
I never asked you that.
No, I've not got a degree. I chose.
Yeah, James, 2 against 1, bro. You might have the degree, but you can stick it where the sun don't shine, my friend. I'll take the street smarts, bro. You're lucky, James, because you're one of those guys, bro. You're book smart, and I feel like you're still street smart. I know if you were out in the city, like you're paying attention, you're aware, like you're not an idiot. So most people, they only get one or the other. I like to think I lean a little bit more street smart than book smart, but I still love my data, and I still love looking at all of the different numbers and comparisons. And that's why, today's video is important, because a lot of people want to get funded, but they are nervous on which company to go with. So some of the issues that we've seen, we should talk about, like the spreads and the variability of the spreads between these companies, I think is important to note. And it's really tough sometimes. People are trying to find something to look at on TradingView and that matches the price of their broker, but it's never exact. So in your opinion, I guess, James, since you're the one that's funded with 2 different companies,
sure,
does the spreads on FTMO favor traders more than the spreads on my Forex funds? Because I've heard I haven't experienced it myself with my Forex funds. I guess I don't know any better. Like Tom and I don't really know any better. I only could compare it to Awanta,
Yeah. I definitely think FTMO is the leading, it's like the Rolls Royce of prop firms. I definitely think they are the best prop firm at the moment with regards to overall customer support, software, their system, their systems, everything like that. They definitely, their dashboard, everything like that. They definitely are number one, in my opinion. And then their spreads are definitely, so I'm including the spreads, everything like that. Their trading platforms, everything like that is definitely the best, I'd say, their liquidity provider. But my FTMO and my Forex funds would be the top 2. There's absolutely nothing wrong. I think what people are having when they experience that slippage, maybe on other prop firms that aren't FTMO, are they trading into news or holding into news, and that obviously can cause some issues. I know Tom had an issue on EU the other day with the CPI news, so I think that's probably where it comes from. But I do know I will definitely, like, I'm still stuck in my ways that FTMO is the best prop firm, in my opinion.
And it's funny because I think they're also the one that's probably been around the longest, if not one of the longest. I remember when they first came out and everybody was like, they're going to give you money to trade with. And everybody else was like, no way. They're not going to give you money to trade with. That doesn't make any sense. And now look at where we're at. Here we are making a video about the best funding company, And it's interesting too, because now, like, this idea of getting funded is creeping out into people. Like when we talked with Mark Leslie, Mark didn't really know about getting funded, right? Until you told him about it.
Correct. Yeah.
So
yeah,
like,
he'd heard of FTMO, but he had never actually taken a challenge.
Right. So now it was like, now this is creeping out into people that work at other prop firms and work in traditional investing, and they're starting to learn about it. So it's super interesting. And I think that'll be the thing, like Tom was saying, that'll make it super competitive. Like Tom, I remember you said in another video that we'll see companies offering $1 million funded accounts. And there are some that offer $1 million accounts now. What if somebody that works in traditional investing or a traditional hedge fund style thing sees an opportunity to come into the funding company industry and disrupt it even more and shake it up even more because they get better liquidity or they get more money or whatever? It's just like brokers have gotten less commissions, better spreads over the years. I think funding companies are now going to see the same progression. And it's because they're so lucrative. I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, think about how much more money I could have made if on some of my funding videos, I got paid every time someone signed up for my Forex funds. You know what I'm saying? Like they probably make so much money. It's crazy. Don't you think?
Big time.
Think about how many people like fail an account and then buy another one, same size, that same day.
Yeah.
And so the other one, the thing that fascinates me, or the thing that I think about as well as these funding companies, I think it's such a good business model, is what happens if they've got a profitable trader, because they will track all of your stats. They know they're tracking every little bit of data. What happens if they're now piggybacking on your trade
and they're stealing your strategy
200 times bigger?
Yeah.
Dude, what happens if they're copying your trade? Or like some guy might have a profit factor of 2.5. He's got a 50% win rate, wins 3-1 every time.
And then they copy your trades.
And they just copy it on a 200 times bigger account.
Right. That's crazy. That's a crazy idea. I mean, they probably thought about it, bro.
No, I'm sure that they could probably do that. My thought process on that is always that I signed up for that account size. I'm getting paid on my profits on that. It's hitting my bank account. I don't really care what they're doing with anything else.
No, I agree. But the thing is, they could go down that route, I suppose.
Yeah. No, but all right. So I think this is good. So we talked about like some of the pros, I think some of the cons. Any other thoughts that you guys have on? I mean, James made it pretty clear. He feels FTMO is the best and it's very comparable to my Forex funds. So if you're with one of those two companies, I feel like you're probably at the top of the table, at least right now as of filming this video in September of 2022. But look, 2023 is another whole year, bro. There's going to be a lot of competition that pops up, I think. I really, really think 100%. That because there's a lot of money to be made. People like making money. Yeah. That's why they're here. So any other closing thoughts, boys, on the funding company stuff?
Yeah, one thing for me is make sure you do your due diligence when you are researching into these funding companies, because I know people that have tried other funding companies. I'm not going to mention which ones, but it only allows them, they have rules on position sizing and they could only enter specific lot sizes, and therefore they weren't allowed to day trade or take their usual entries because their stops were so small. They were having to put it on bigger position sizes and they weren't able to get down their full risk. And so they were suited to more like swing traders and investing. So just make sure that you find a funding company that suits your personality and your strategy before you part with some money.
Yeah. And then that's a good one, Tom. Also, one thing from our side, I would say is when you start getting payouts from the prop firms, because that's essentially the goal, to get consistent payouts, make sure that you limit your risk when you get funded. You don't need to be, now when you're funded, you don't have a profit target. So downsize the risk completely by even, I would say like a fifth. You don't need to make even 5% a month. You make 2% a month consistently with big money that they do offer, you're going to do well. And then when you get the payouts, make sure that you are putting it, you have a plan with it. Save some into into other investments. Maybe you got another business venture, but then also start putting some into your own personal brokerage account so you have a plan for what you are going to do with those profits. That's what be my 2 takeaways.
I love that. Great advice. Great stuff. So I'll end us then by reminding everybody the Black Shirt Club is now open. If you don't know what that is, it's our 12-week mentorship program where you're going to work with me and Tom and James every day. We're going to work you through our trader improvement workbook. We're going to track all your trades and really help you hone in on what you're doing well and help you 10x that. That's going to get you funded. That's going to help you scale up. So if you want to learn more about that, go to asfx.biz, www.asfx.biz. I'll put a link in the description. That will then take you to the Black Shirt Club page. There's a little tab at the top you can click. From there, you'll be able to watch a video and read a bunch of information on what you get. But like I said, said that enrollment is now open. So if we have space, you can buy and get in right away. We'll work you through the 12 weeks right from when you start. And if it's not open, just put your name on the wait list and I'll let you know once we have availability. And I really appreciate everybody listening and staying up to date with us and wanting to be in the Black Shirt Club to the point where we need to make these updates and let everybody know. We just really appreciate the attention, and we're going to continue to do our best to bring you guys different perspectives, valuable perspectives, and information that helps you make more money. That's the goal here. So Tom, James, thank you very much, boys. I appreciate you guys very much. I know the audience does too. And for everybody watching, thank you again. We'll see you in the next video.